they see a beautiful girl named Melissa. One day, while alone in her room, Melissa begins exploring her body for pleasure. But her mother suddenly enters, catching her off guard. Melissa quickly composes herself. Later, Melissa goes out with a friend and meets Daniel, a classmate she secretly likes. She's thrilled to see him, but Daniel pays her no attention. At a swimming pool, someone pushes Melissa into the water and she starts to drown. Daniel saves her and takes her to a garden, offering to teach her how to swim on the condition that she comes alone each time. As he gets closer, Melissa, already fond of him, doesn't resist. Daniel takes advantage of the situation and becomes intimate with her, then leaves without a word, leaving Melissa hurt. When school reopens, Melissa waits for Daniel, who hasn't contacted her in months. Her longing for him grows stronger. Her friend tells her Daniel is at a club, and Melissa goes there to find him. Daniel notices her, offers her a drink, and introduces her to a friend who compliments her beauty. Seizing the moment, Daniel says he wants to talk to her alone and takes her to his house. They get close and become intimate again. Melissa confesses her love, but Daniel mocks her, revealing he only wanted physical intimate. Hurt, Melissa decides to treat others the same way, disregarding their feelings. Meanwhile, her grandmother's health deteriorates, and her mother decides to admit her to a hospital. Melissa, deeply attached to her grandmother, argues with her mother about this. The next day, at a coffee shop with a friend, Melissa notices a man who reminds her of Daniel and his actions. She signals to him, but when he approaches, she leaves, glancing back at him repeatedly. At home, Melissa is overjoyed to see her grandmother has returned. However, her grandmother notices changes in Melissa's behavior and shares her concerns with Melissa's mother, who dismisses them. While reading her diary, Melissa's grandmother advises her, sharing her own story of being betrayed by a boy in her youth, but staying strong. She urges Melissa to avoid such distractions at her age. Later, Daniel calls Melissa, inviting her over. Though she initially refuses, she eventually goes. Daniel brings a friend, and they both become intimate with her. Melissa begins to enjoy these encounters and starts using online dating sites, making new friends to share her experiences with, as she has no one in real life to confide in. At a school trip to a science museum, Melissa meets a man who works there, flirts with him, and becomes intimate with him too. She records all her encounters in her diary. At school, she catches her friends reading her diary and gets angry. On her way home, Melissa sees her grandmother happily sitting with a man, which makes her wish for someone who truly loves her. The next day, her friend apologizes for reading the diary, but Melissa ignores her. A boy named Marco, who has long liked Melissa but lacked the courage to confess, approaches her. While they talk, Daniel's friend calls, inviting her to a place. There, he blindfolds her and takes her to a basement where his friends are waiting. They all become intimate with her. Meanwhile, Melissa's mother finds her diary and learns the truth about her daughter's actions. She tries calling Melissa but gets no response. She visits her grandmother, only to learn she has passed away. That night, when Melissa returns home, her mother confronts her about the diary. Melissa admits everything, and her mother, devastated, tearfully apologizes for not taking better care of her. Overwhelmed with regret, Melissa resolves to change. Before school, Melissa reconciles with her friend and they become close again. At school, they see Daniel fighting with his friends who had assaulted Melissa without his knowledge. Daniel tries to talk to her, but she ignores him. Later, she checks her exam results, and Marco approaches, confessing his feelings and showing her his artwork. He wants to draw her portrait. Daniel arrives, inviting her to a party at his house. Though hesitant, Melissa agrees to go. At the party, Melissa leaves and heads to a body of water, intending to jump in. Despite others trying to stop her, she jumps, but is later seen swimming. The story ends with Melissa and her mother, now happy together, visiting her grandmother's grave with flowers.